Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos. My friends call me Sleuth. Today we will be discussing the Delphi case. Good to see everybody. Olivia, too. Now, the title of today's live stream is Denial. Now, we're going to look at that through the eyes or the lens of, let's say, a Kathy Allen or a wife, family member, or a friend of a suspected or convicted killer. Kind of wearing the glasses of denial. We also will touch on a little bit tonight about whether or not law enforcement knew about Richard Allen prior to his arrest, and maybe even the new direction presser may have been directed towards Richard Allen. What's up, Brad? Well, it is good to see everybody. Looks like we do have a full house. Please hit the like button if you could right off the bat. What's up, Metal Mama? Donna, good to see you. D, what's up? Rob Lee. My guy Shooter, what's up, Shooter? Jerry. Bird Blue. Patricia, Wanda. Nedra, Night Shadow. Sandra Ficus. Here's a new name. Norik. What's up, Miss Thang? Shelly. Sparky, how you doing? Marissa. Good to see you, Shay. What's up? V. Marie. You'll get used to it. I'm debating whether or not to go back to Android. But I'll probably just upgrade my iPhone. Now, did law enforcement give the family of Richard Allen, if he's the man on the bridge guy, as we've all come to know him, or know the killer or the suspect as the bridge guy, if he is, and his family knew he was there on the bridge, did law enforcement give them every opportunity to deny it, even to themselves? And did Richard Allen, by his own cunning, kind of have a big play a big role in being able to have that, smooth that over with his friends and family when they ask, like, weren't you there that day? That's obviously you in that video. But he could always say, well, I came forward and I was cleared. So no matter what, he could always say that. What's up, Brown Skittle? V. Marie. Olivia has her coffee. Good. Sarcastic. Ola. Sparky. Yes, it is a full moon. Thank you, Miss Thang. If you guys want to become a member, there you go. There's the link. Just hit that thing. What's up, CJK? Yeah, and I think we'll start here. This is the from the defense memorandum. Prior defense. Previous. Sandra says, according to Google, it's a beaver full moon. Thank you for that. Good to see you, Wanda. Hey, Rescue. Teresa. Who am I missing? 63 clocks. What's up? Donna. DP. Has this started yet? Nope. Not quite yet. We'll probably get going at the 10-minute mark. But I think we will start here. Basically, we'll start with where Richard Allen comes forward and speaks with Dan Doolin. And we'll read it through the lens of the defense team. Previous, that is. What's up, Kitty? Thank you, Miss Thang. Yep, if you guys could hit that like button. Yeah, it was. Actually, I'm looking right at it. That's why. And it's kind of cloudy, but I can see it. I'm like, wow. What's up, Lone Pony? Good to see you. Joe Moser. Hey, what's up, Sweets? In the building. Thank you, Sparky. What's going on, D? Colette. GP. Good to see you, Metal. Chorizo. Pepper Westwood is asking, who all thinks Richard Allen is hotter now that he lost weight? Good to see you, Susan. What's up, Camaro lover? Stephanie. All right, we're at about the 8.5 minute mark, so we'll get going here in just a minute. MJ, what's up? Peruvian 69, good to see you. Christine Robbins. Thank you, Metal. Got 100 folks in here. Let's get those likes up if you can. Squeaky Will, denial. That's what Miss Richard Allen lived in for 6 years after seeing the Bridge Guy video and being constantly told, hey, I went and talked to them and nothing came of it. So get off my back. 100%. That is the lens that we will be looking through. Squeaky hit it right on the head. Hold on. Well, we're going to look at about maybe 5 or 6 different examples of why Kathy Allen and people who knew Richard Allen was there that day and even may have even believed or knew that he was the Bridge Guy, but had every reason to deny that he had anything to do with the crime. It was more like, why do they keep showing your image? He's like, I don't know. You guys all know that I came forward because there's probably a handful of people that knew 100% that that was Richard Allen. And I think the 2019 presser made them feel a lot more comfortable about not coming forward. One of those, see, I told you it wasn't Ricky. Now, was that a strategy from law enforcement? Or were they just kind of throwing up a Hail Mary, hoping to see who kind of shakes in the room? What's up, DP? You would have to had complete blackout glasses to not have some suspicions of him. Well, I'm putting together another live stream. It might be ready tomorrow, I'm not sure. But it's going to be titled Richard Allen the Jedi. And it's going to have him, he's standing in his like a Jedi outfit, and he's kind of waving his hand in front of Dan Doolin. But I think he was doing that a lot with his friends and his family. But he had a lot to back it up, especially when they said, hey, we're no longer interested in the older looking sketch, which to me looks a lot like Richard Allen. Good to see you, Kiwi. Yep, the tree is up. We got it up yesterday. And I started construction on a big bookshelf, or like a light/library for my wife. She's going to love it. It's a Christmas present. Thank you, D. Yeah, if you guys want to shoot me an email, sleuthintuition@gmail.com. Thanks, D. Kate says, yeah, but they just kept the video clip going out there. So I don't think that explanation would keep working. Well, if they knew for a fact, and I'm sure only a handful of people knew he came forward, right? We know his pool buddies knew. We'll take a look at that. After the 2019 presser, there was a lot of miscommunication. Later on, Doug Carter would come out and say, well, actually, it's somewhere in between. But before that, you had Kim Riley coming out, putting out press bulletins and press releases stating these are not the same. This is not the same person. What's up, farmer? All right. What's going on, Brown Skittle? Sensei? Sensei? KT, what's up? Farmer says, you can see it. Ain't it like noon or some shit there? No, it's like 6:30. But I got a good view of it. Hey, what's up? Ray Jones. Oh, okay, Miss Thing. I tried to put him in timeout, but somebody beat me to it, I think. Hey, what's up, SARS? Did I say that right? Anna. I think that was the point. He was trolling. Brutally honest says a biased lens. Very biased. Very biased. You know, And also, who in their right mind is gonna believe something like that? I mean, I don't think it's easy to come to terms with like, "Hey, my husband is a killer." Him being on the bridge and them for some reason not coming out and publicly explaining it as part of some weird strategy, that might be a story they might buy themselves, because 'cause they're gonna feed themselves a load of crap too. Killer of 2 young innocent girls. That would be really hard to accept or believe. Be much easier to believe like, okay, you spoke to law enforcement, you've been cleared, they keep showing your video, and he could have said, "Well, I don't know, they said it was part of their strategy." Wow, it's so weird, but obviously you've been cleared. Sar says that poor woman and daughter, he ruined so many innocent lives. Yeah, I put together, maybe I only grabbed one article. Uh-oh, what'd I do with it? Oh, here it is. So at some point during the live stream, I pulled this from Oxygen True Crime, oxygen.com. 5 women who unknowingly married serial killers. Paula Rader, Linda Yates, Julie Baumeister, Judith Mawson, Carol Hoff. So hopefully we got time for that. Hopefully. Hey, what is up, Ruckus? Good to see you. What's up, Rob Lee? Good to see you. Ruckus Rock says, I know about the MC cover. There you go. What is up, Cryptex? Good to see you. Venue. What's up, Venue? DP's asking, Sleuth, in your best opinion, what prison or jail would be the best place for Richard, or is he in the best possible location? Well, it's my understanding that the prison has a better medical staff, and I believe their 24-hour observation is set up a little bit, I think, more so to handle his type of situation. I don't know if the jail has the man hours for that. You need somebody there, and if they're not able to be there, you got somebody that can fill in that spot. What are you gonna do at the jail? Somebody calls in sick, you're gonna have a Mitrice Richardson situation where they just kind of throw them out in the street. So I believe, from my understanding, the prison is going to be much more safe than jail. Also, I think they have a psychiatrist, and I'm sure they have that at the jail. Somebody that they can get, schedule, but I think they have one like staffed there. You got counselors, you got a psychiatrist. I don't know. They just have more medical staff there. I don't know. Why wouldn't you want him in a prison? Like, do you really think that it's run by Odinists? I mean, you might want to figure that part out first. You got bigger problems. This isn't some 90s Jean Claude Van Damme movie. All right, let's take a look. This is coming straight from the previous defense team. It's the memorandum that was leaked to the public. It was written in support of the Franks motion. They wanted to suppress the search warrant, and this is part of that. And the reason we're reading it, it's kind of the beginning of the story, right? Richard Allen coming forward, I believe, is what bought him 6 years and is also what's going to eventually get him arrested. But everybody would have known he was there anyway, so he had to come forward. So I believe it bought him about 5.5 years of freedom because it was an ace in his pocket. Hey, you were there that day, and that looks like you, man. Like, I got to call the cops. Go ahead. I've already talked to him. The single solitary source for this information is Dan Doolin from the Department of Natural Resources, DNR. Therefore, in order to confidentially trust that Richard Allen actually said that he was on the trail between 1:30 and 3:30, as stated in Liggett's affidavit, Dan Doolin's work product would also have to be trusted. Words matter when talking to somebody. For example, if the exchange between Dan Doolin and Richard Allen was this: Richard, we think the girls were abducted between 1:30 and 3:30. Were you on the trails at any point in time between 1:30 and 3:30 p.m. on February 17th? And Richard answered, yes. That does not mean that Richard Allen was actually on the trail the entire time between 1:30 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. That's ridiculous. This is the kind of shit that they were going to argue in the courtroom. However, Doolin could memorialize that exchange as Richard claiming he was on the trail the entire 2-hour time span. If so, Doolin's report would be inaccurate. Therefore, Doolin's inaccuracy as writing reports may need to be considered and scrutinized. The defense does not have to go very far in scrutinizing Doolin's accuracy in report writing. It can start with the report Doolin wrote about the interaction with Richard Allen. The conversation between Richard Allen and Dan Doolin came about when Richard Allen called the tip line to provide the limited information that Richard Allen may have had from his time on the trail that day. Doolin and Richard met at a grocery store in Delphi. At the conclusion of Doolin's interview, Doolin prepared his report. However, Doolin screwed up the most basic of tasks, getting the name right. Doolin was so sloppy in drafting this report that he put Richard Allen's name into the system as Rick Allen Whiteman before being forced to sell their house and move away from the community that they loved because of the horrific allegations that Rick brutally murdered 2 young girls. Rick Allen and his wife, Kathy, lived for many years on Whiteman Drive. This is probably the source of Doolin's mistake. Like, what is that all about? That's so crazy. So the fact that Richard Allen was able to come forward before they put out his photo, I think it really did buy him some time. What do you guys think about that? So he came forward. Doolin has never met this guy, but he's met old Obi-Wan Kenobi, walking with his wife and his daughter, probably on their way to have dinner, stopping by, talking to Dan Doolin. Yeah, I was on the trails that day, and then wishes his hand across his face. A little Jedi mind trick. What's up, Tamara? GP, what you up to? Hey, Rebecca. Welcome back. Don Spain. Bringing the pain with Don Spain. Sar says, this story had me so invested for so many years waiting for an absolute boogeyman. Exactly. You're looking for a boogeyman. You should have been looking for Obi. We should have been looking for Obi-Wan Kenobi. But he's over here doing mind tricks on Dan Doolin and his wife and his friend. But you know I came forward. Yes, you came forward early on in the case. Yes, I have been cleared. Yes, you have been cleared. Because it's true. He's not lying. He came forward. The power behind that and why it was able to buy him so much time, because it was true. Now, this brings the second argument that we'll end up probably leading into is, did they know about Richard Allen? But because he was able to control where he was at certain times, they had no argument against him. What are they going to bring to the judge? Hey, judge, this guy was there. Okay, what did he say? Well, yeah, he said he was there. Oh, okay. So why are we searching his home? Well, he looks like the bridge guy. Okay. Yeah, it's just not enough. Kiwi says, I think many of their Facebook posts and pics were taunting and teasing. I think his wife knew it was him and truly thought he was cleared. Wait, you think she thought he was actually the killer? Ruckus ain't lying. We got a scrub report, also known as the Ruckus report. 205 watching, 95 likes. Wow. Hanging out of the passenger side of your best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. Bruh. Venue says Elkhart County Jail has a good facility to hold him safe keep. For real, for real. Do you think they truly love their wives, or is it a charade to appear normal? I don't know. I mean, if you can diagnose them as like a pure, like psychopath, sociopath, cold blooded killer, I don't know if they even can love. I think they just try to figure out how to become a character. But when shit hits the fan, all those urges, and from what I understand about psychos, they like dream about blood and stuff. It's really strange. Like they have urges. So I don't know. I don't know if they can feel love. Gotta ask a professional on that one. That's a tough question. I don't know. Squeaky says, based on his jail confession, I think Richard Allen was just about ready to man up and plead guilty until Baldwin and Rosie convinced him he could get away with the double murder. I don't think it was that straightforward, but I think that they thought they were going to be able to ride it. Hey, we're being forced to do this. We're not getting paid what we should get paid, but this is a good opportunity for some advertising. So I think they may have led him on to kind of play out. They were the ones that wanted the cameras. They wanted to make everything public. They leaked the memorandum. They wanted everything on television. Hey, welcome the Spiritual Genie LLC. Welcome to the Sleuth Crew. We'll see you after this live stream. We're getting together for a little Little after, guess you could call it a party, after party. Nixon 83. I remember when Daniel Nations first surfaced, he looked so much like the first sketch. Yeah, he really did. He did resemble it, especially when you did the side by side.
Tonight in the Delphi murder case, investigators still trying to figure out who killed Libby German and Abby Williams 2 years ago. And tonight, police are providing more clarification about that latest sketch from the suspect.
Yeah, tonight at 11 o'clock, our own Emily Longnecker explains what police want the public to really know about this case. Emily?
Well, Andrea and Scott, the sketch released on Monday is the person investigators are looking for. He's the man police believe killed the two girls. Now, let's take a look at that sketch. Again, it's right here. Police say this is the face of the man captured on Libby German's cell phone video walking on the bridge. This other sketch released.
Okay, now in my opinion, the guy walking on the bridge looks like the older sketch. It looks like a guy with like a scruffy goatee, maybe some long, bushy or curly hair kind of sticking up out of a hat or a hoodie. So to me, in my opinion, and I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but it looked a lot like the older sketch, the one here on the left. And I also believe that even though Richard Allen resembles both of these sketches, I do think he looks a lot more like this gentleman.
2 years ago, when the investigation first started, is not who police are looking for now. This person is not considered a person of interest in the case.
Okay, so now if you're Kathy Allen and you're watching this, and she's looking at it the way I am, like, well, I know my husband was there. I know he's the bridge guy, and I know he's sketch number one, but he already talked to police. So I don't know why they would be continuing to keep showing images of him and things like that. But I have a feeling they were able to kind of explain it away. So, I mean, what is her story? I think this was taken outside of the courthouse. And I think the van over her back shoulder or behind her is the van they brought Richard Allen in. So, I mean, why would she be there if she thought he was guilty? She seems like she's still in that denial. Tamara says the conservation officer was a complete idiot for his report he took from Richard Allen not to ring a bell. Yeah. You know, you don't want to beat up Dan Doolin too much, but how can you not? But I'm sure he's beating up himself quite a bit as well. Thanks, Dee. Appreciate that. Shout out to Australia. The heck are you up to? I'm having a sickie. What's that? Anna says, according to another channel tonight, a witness said the BG looked most like another known criminal. Who could Richard Allen's twin? So there's that. Oh, yeah, I did a live stream about it. Yeah, I know who they're referring to. But I believe I think he gave a polygraph, blood, and hair. Convicted violent sex offender. Okay, so right after the 2019 New Direction presser, because remember there were two in 2019. I think this was actually put out by Kim Riley. Okay, so it says here, in the early days and months of the Delphi murder investigation, information was developed about suspect descriptions. It was initially believed the sketch that has been in public view over the last 2 years of a person in the age range of his 40s to 50s, which is accurate, right? If it's Richard Allen, was a person of interest in this murder investigation. Now, as the investigation has matured and past information has been reassessed, it is the belief of investigators with the multi-agency task force that the person depicted in the sketch released on April 22nd more accurately represents the person wanted for the murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German. It is important to distinguish these points about the two sketches. And here's number one. They are not the same person. Okay. So boom. How easy would it be to put these on for Kathy? His pool hall buddies, his old friends, his family members, his mother. I mean, why are they doing this? I mean, the new direction presser, they kept saying this is part of some new strategy. So what is the strategy? Did they know about Richard Allen? And they're trying to make him feel comfortable now? What is it? So you're telling us it's no longer the 40s to 50s, which is pretty accurate if it's Richard Allen, right? All right, let's read the next one. The person depicted in the originally released sketch is not presently a person of interest in the investigation. Is this part of a strategy? Were they wanting him to feel comfortable? Did they want him to turn on a cell phone? Did they want him to make contact with somebody? Or were they completely clueless? Were they just hoping somebody did something that stood out? And they had no idea about Richard Allen. He really was hiding in plain sight. But if they knew about him and was a person of interest at one point, because it says is not presently, what the hell is it? There's something that we're not privy to. That much I do know. Squeaky Will, why didn't Dan Doolin raise holy hell with Doug Carter's 100 man? Excuse me. Task force every time he saw a video of Bridge Guy? Because I'm telling you, he didn't look like Bridge Guy. Dan Doolin doesn't, or Richard Allen doesn't normally look like that. I think he looks like a normal person. You know, he's got his hat, wears his glasses on his hat, collared shirt. Every once in a while, puts on a jacket. He's wearing a disguise. And even though he's seen in a lot of videos wearing that blue jacket, he's still wearing some type of a disguise. He's got multiple layers on. At one point, he's got something covering his mouth. He's got a hoodie up over his head. So the reason it's hard to recognize him is because that's by design. Get him this thing. Olivia. Brown Skittle, Richard Allen is 99% bridge guy, and I think KA really was in a certain way of denial. Yeah. She had him on. See the image there? This image here. This is the Richard Allen they all knew. Maybe even one of the girls knew him. You know, he's not bridge guy. But when he layered up and he grabbed that gun and that knife and whatever else he had, and he put all those layers on, he became this bridge guy. He didn't go out there for a hike. Oh, I need to go way back down here. Sorry, guys. I'm going to skip everything and go. We'll go to cryptics. Asaka was missing the trophy. It does not look like an Odinus modus operandi. Well, I think you can have multiple purposes, right? You can be getting a kick out of the murder and still be conducting a ritual. Because you got to be some kind of sick deviant to be able to commit a murder or a ritual sacrifice to begin with. So why wouldn't you take a trophy? You're already a sick bastard. I mean, what are the lines of your depravity? You've just, after doing something like that. Yeah, that's an interesting story. The BTK and his daughter, Catherine. Hey, what's up, Humanimal? Phoebe. I remember hearing the guy on the video, BG, had been interviewed and cleared way back. Anyone else remember that? Yes. It used to drive me so crazy. I remember one time I went on to Gray Hughes' channel and I was like, you guys, and I asked that same question, just how you did. You guys remember hearing anything online about him being cleared? And all I got back was, oh, you're such an idiot. They're talking about the different sketches. Like, how dumb are you? And I'm like, no, like on 4chan and all these other places, they're talking about some guy. And I couldn't really remember his name. But yeah, they were talking about how he was cleared. And sure enough, here's one example. I think Fig Solves originally sent me this. I don't know the guy's name, but this was a really good friend of Richard Allen. And he says here, and he's correcting Channel 6, you need to let everybody know they have talked to this man and released him. WTHR updates this a while ago. And that's the video we just watched. It's the same video that he's referring to. He went to police. They have released him, and he is not a suspect. Now, let's see what else. This is from the Indie Star. The man in the 2017 sketch was a person of interest in the investigation during that period, police said. Now that's no longer the case. Investigators believe the man shown in a sketch released during a press conference on Monday more accurately represents that person. So let's say you were a little bit tempted in coming forward. You thought the older looking sketch kind of resembled Richard Allen. You knew he was there. A handful of people did. I believe that if you were in denial, these moves would have helped you not to come forward. You would have been sending messages like, I told you so. I told you it wasn't Ricky. Well, why the hell do they keep showing him on that damn bridge? It's part of some strategy. I mean, what the hell else is it? Some Jedi mind trick. This one's from 4chan, I think. February 23rd, 2020. Just because there was a video of Richard on the train tracks doesn't mean he did it. The cops are smart enough to know, and this is the one that I remember reading. The cops are smart enough to know this and have probably interrogated him already. It was a dead end. Either that or he has connections. It was probably someone from out of town. Who knows, though? But this person obviously knows who it was on the bridge. Let's see. This one's from Journal and Courier. Riley also said Wednesday that the original sketch released in the summer of 2017 showing a man with a goatee and a driving cap is not presently a person of interest in this investigation. Okay. So if you're looking at things through the lens of denial, this is only feeding into that. Right? Or did they truly believe he was no longer? I mean, what's going on? Somebody please help me explain this. Either they knew about him, were aware of him, or were fully aware of this tip, and they just were not interested in him, or this is some part of a strategy to make him feel like he was no longer a person of interest. What else could it be? Yeah, and I don't even think they aged this other guy over 40. They said, yeah, he may look younger than his age, but we don't believe he's over the age of 40. Richard Allen was over the age of 40. So if you're looking for reasons to be in denial, they were handing him out. Here you go. Here you go. For some reason, Rescue, I want to say the hospital admittance was sometime in 2016. But I've been trying to find information on that and I can't. DP says at the conclusion of this case, the state of Indiana needs to put some much needed funds into training their investigators and administrative staff in case management. I agree. The Spiritual Genie. Hi, love you all. Love this channel. Just mentioned your channel on my TikTok live stream. Thank you. Appreciate it. Welcome to members as well. Figs in the house. No doubt Doolin messed up by not recording, so we won't know if Rick Allen actually told Dan Doolin what his name was. Alan Whiteman. Yeah, that could. Maybe he gave him that name. Yeah, that's a good point. Good to see you, Fig. Anna, I don't think buying time did much good since it appears Richard Allen kept a gun and ammo that connect to the crime scene. See, I think that what it was all about. I think the case was holding on by a thread, maybe just barely dangling there. They knew how important that gun was. They were able to keep that information private. People didn't really start talking about it until just before his arrest, which I think plays a part. But I think the most important thing was making sure Richard Allen didn't get rid of that gun. That gun is what ties him to the crime scene. The very moment that that was at risk, they moved forward and arrested him. Oh, thanks, Miss Thing. Yeah, if you guys want to check out some of the merch, hit it up. Christmas time. And we will be doing a giveaway probably, I think, New Year's Eve. Maybe like a hoodie and a couple hats or something. Okay. So I don't know. I do have the 2019 presser. We can watch that if you want to. May not be necessary. Better yet, let's finish out with this article. But if you do think the 2019 New Direction presser was aimed at Richard Allen and they were fully aware of that, let me know what you think about that, or give me your opinion in the comments. I am curious. Hey, what's up, Jaded? Good to see you. Ali Vanderhayden, 2018. Thanks, Farmer. I don't know anything about any motorcycle cover. Periwinkle says Doolin. Some explicit things and then an angry face. Hey, everybody, check your stockings. Pammy's in the house, gifted 5 memberships. Check your stocking. Dang, I'm so far behind. Let me zoom back. Why do I keep ending up way back up here? Welcome back, Pepper Westwood. Nice, Jeannie. Finally, a legit psychic medium. Never knowing you're being not sarcastic. Norik, old sketch was made by the FBI. I don't think so. I think it was made by like a group of people. And I think maybe they were able to identify one of the persons that they thought was part of that sketch and thought they could get rid of the entire thing. I think some big mistakes were made. But I think that's all kind of part of the process. Sometimes you got to go 1 step back to go 2 steps forward. Yeah, Squeaky Will, I agree with that. The first sketch was the accurate sketch. The second sketch was total bullshit because Doug Carter and his 100-man task force didn't read Doolin's report. Richard Allen fell through the cracks. Yeah, I can't explain it. Is it part of this strategy? You never thought we would switch gears. Like, what if we're not switching gears? But our strategy is to make you think we are. But really, we just want to see you move. Anything, a subtle movement, access an account, turn on a phone, reach out to somebody, activate an old profile. I don't know. Maybe they even had some like wiretaps or some shit, and they were hoping to hear some kind of communication. All right. So I read this earlier really quickly. It's pretty good. Serial killers are master manipulators and experts at hiding in plain sight. And many have the ability to live double lives for years without getting caught. Some even settle down with partners and have children, all while continuing to commit unspeakable crimes under the facade of having a normal family. So they kind of wear it like some camouflage. Venue says pic was taken by me in F. Kathy and the mom. Oh, is that your photo? Here, let me pull that back up. This one, you took that photo? Alan's mom's like, what's this guy's motive? What's he up to? Look at that crazy hair. What did he say his name was? Noe. She's just out of it. Like, I don't see nothing. I don't know where I'm at. What the fuck is going on? Usually, the people who end up marrying serial killers have no idea they're sleeping next to monsters, and their partner's sadistic behavior can go completely unnoticed, even for many of the wives of history's grisliest murderers. Their husband's arrest came as a total shock. Here are 5 women who unknowingly married serial killers. Paula Rader. I was going to pull some images for each one of these folks, but I didn't have time. Codependence. Yeah, I think that might have played a big role. Him having all the spare time on his hands. If he had any urges, he was able to keep them kind of hidden. Haunted Stella, the spiritual genie. Is the name of your channel the name you use now? For real, says, if I'm accused of a crime I have not committed, I'm demanding a speedy trial. Hell yeah. I'm demanding a speedy trial, and I'm coming out in front of the public, and I'm cooperating in every way. And I don't need any press release, because every time I step out of that ugly ass van and they got me in those chains, I'm going to be like, I'm innocent. Every time I have a chance to open my mouth, you're going to hear about it. You're not going to see me come out of this van and walk around all creepy and kind of stare, kind of side eye everybody. The guy isn't acting innocent. He's not acting like an innocent person, in my opinion. All right, these are short little paragraphs here. Paula Rader was married to her husband Dennis for 34 years before she found out he was a serial killer. Dennis, known as the BTK killer for his method of bind, torture, kill, murdered at least 10 women from 1974 to 1991. He was finally apprehended in the winter of 2005 after he accidentally incriminated himself while sending taunting letters to the police. Following his arrest, Paula was granted an emergency divorce, and Dennis did not contest the separation. Though Paula has never made an official statement, her daughter Carrie Rawson came forward in 2014 and contended the family never knew Dennis was responsible for the murders. No way could she have known, Rawson said. She wouldn't have raised us with him. Kelly Otis, a detective who was on the BTK task force, agreed, saying, "It's absolutely true. They never knew about it." Now, I believe that 100%. That's a whole different animal there. Kate lists, the old guy sketch looks like the other criminal who looks like Richard Allen. They even drew that. Yeah, Jimmy Duvall. They look like brothers. Just really messed with people. Yeah, but he was definitely cleared, but I guess so was Richard Allen. Narks is Henry, but yeah, it was Jimmy, I believe. Doug Rice put together a lineup and showed it to some of the witnesses, and they picked out Duvall and said, it's not, they even said something like, it's not Duvall, but that's the closest one you got here is this guy. And it's a guy who could be Richard Allen's brother, really. They look like brothers. Phoebe says, wouldn't Kathy think, well, that's my husband, but he doesn't look like the young sketch? Exactly. So that's going to make her feel a lot more comfortable and further her denial. All right. Number 2, Linda Yates. When police arrested Robert L. Yates Jr. in connection with the murder of 13 people, his wife, Linda Yates, was in utter disbelief. How could you not see the signs? Linda told Dateline after his 2000 arrest. But see, you're so close to somebody, you don't see it. Looking back, Linda said her husband did exhibit some suspicious behavior, but she had no idea he was a serial killer who preyed on sex workers. She simply believed he was engaging in extramarital affairs. She told Dateline, especially when he said he was going hunting and he was dressed up nice and had cologne on. You don't go hunting with cologne on. When she found credit card statements detailing charges from an hourly rate motel, Linda accused Robert of cheating on her. Robert denied having an affair and said he liked using the motel's hot tub after a long day of work. He always had answers to everything, Linda said, already prepared in his mind, I think. During his incarceration, Robert confessed to the killings in exchange for a plea deal. Linda later visited her husband in jail, asking him, "Do you know why you killed these women? I want to know why, like anybody else, and how you could have done this and still be married to me." That Jedi mind trick. And what are you going to believe? Like this made up lie, or that this person is some kind of serial or horrible monster? You're not going to believe that. You're going to believe the lie. It's so much more easier to believe this made up stupid story than it is to believe that your husband or wife could be capable of something like that. Yeah, Kate, you're right. It was Jimmy Duvall. Hey, return the diamonds. What's up? If you are not guilty, why would you not opt for a speedy trial? Exactly. That doesn't make any sense to me. You're not going to say, okay, let me sit in this prison or let me sit and wait on a trial date while you guys build a case against me. No, if I'm guilty, you need to show it right now. Show me what you got. Show me your cards. Put them on the table. No, you don't get to pull any more out of that deck. Let's see them all right now. Flip them. Brown Skittle, I'm stoned. That is the state in which I exist. All right, guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to grab a water. Ooh, everything's so hectic around here today. Yeah, and he was wearing a disguise, so you would be looking for somebody who looks like that, and it wouldn't be him because he doesn't look like that. Like, yeah, he did wear that blue jacket, but that's about it. Ruckus says, don't put much weight on the sketches. They are seldom accurate and are used as a tool, not evidence. Like kind of a tool to get you to the next step. Sorry to hear that, Haunted. Little chihuahua. Humanimal, what do you guys think about the fox sweatshirt taken from Alan's house? Is that the sweater under the Carhartt jacket with white lettering? I'm not sure. Interesting to look at it, but it just changes with each frame. Julie Baumeister. In the fall of 1994, Julie Baumeister's 13-year-old son found human remains on the family's $1 million estate, Fox Hollow Farm. When Julie asked Herb Baumeister, her husband of 23 years, about the bones, he told her they were from his anesthesiologist's father medical school skeleton. Herb didn't explain why they were in the woods behind their home, and a few days later they were gone. Julie said he didn't think twice about the discovery. It wasn't like I was sitting at home with nothing else to think about, she told People. 2 years later, police were searching the estate to build a case against Herb in connection with the multiple disappearances of gay men in Indianapolis area. They found the remains of 7 men on the. I'm pretty sure I'm not saying that right. On their property, Herb went missing the day after the search started, and authorities found his body 8 days later, lying beside his car in a park. He had shot himself and left a 3-page suicide note, but he did not mention the murders he was believed to have committed. Of her late husband's alleged killings, Julie told People, "Our biggest question now is how he could have loved us and done this. Happiness as we knew it is never going to return." So she's realizing that her entire life was a farce. Yeah, guys, I think that is all the time I have for now. I will be getting together with you members here in a little bit. Sorry, there's just a lot going on right now. I'm like trying to do like 5 different things at one time. But let me catch up on the chat. I think the woman who saw him on the bridge focused more on his face than hair, so I think he had a wooden type beanie on that she thought was brown, red, curly hair. For real says, "There's a lot we're not privy to." Hey, what's up, Jari? Harvey says may have been a strategy to tickle the lines, just to see if something see if anybody flinches, the slightest movement. Farmer says Fig, whom I respect, says the changing direction presser was to make somebody do something, basically anything that stands out and can be noticed by law enforcement. Yeah, I mean they got to do something. Yeah, and members, it looks like we're going to have to reschedule. I just ran out of time. Just so many things I got to do. 'Tis the season. Yeah, it could have been to throw them off. I mean, I believe their main concern was that weapon. How do we preserve that gun? Thanks, Pammy. So if you guys did not notice, you may have been gifted a membership. So check your stockings. But we will have to reschedule today's quick members meeting. It was going to be a short one, but I'll put something together for tomorrow that'll be a little bit better. Maybe another vent session. Return the diamonds. Unfortunately, the families don't have a choice to be patient. They need to be able to work with police, not create a division. Yeah, I mean, who else is going to conduct the investigation? You're going to have what, two dueling investigations who are now competing with each other? I mean, I don't see anything wrong with getting a private investigator involved, but trying to take over and take the investigation in one direction while you have a whole nother group going in this direction, that's just not going to help anybody. Somebody's got to take the lead. Yeah, I agree with that, Humanimal. Thank you, Brown Skittle. Yeah, if you guys could hit the like button, just a quick little live stream, and members will get together tomorrow. Take care, Ruckus. Peace out. All right, guys. Sorry if I missed all of your comments. Thank you, Ruckus. Good to see you. But I have to cut it short. See if I can zip through here. So let's welcome Spiritual Genie. And another shout out to Pammy for hooking some folks up. Ducketology says he talked about switching gears. And he definitely did that. I kind of wanted to watch that presser tonight, but we don't have time. Cocktail dress. I'm just giving him too much credit, huh? Yeah, could be, former. All right, let me zip on down. Let me hit Kev. What's up, Kev? Just seen Squeaky Will's comment. This Richard Allen investigation is worse than I thought, but I've missed a lot. Good content as usual. Thank you, Kev. All right, I wish we had more time. Ted Bundy's woman turned his sorry donkey in. Turned his ass in. All right, let's get one more comment and then we're out of here. Let's see. Who will it be? Dang, I missed a whole bunch, guys. Sorry. Hey, Sylvia Leos. I'll forgive you, Sleuth. Did I miss you? Sorry about that. Welcome in. Anything I like? Thank you. No green for almost 2 months. That farmer by choice, though. That sounds awful. Sorry, Sylvia. It's my bad. Yeah, Jeannie, we like to get together. So we're going to get together tomorrow. Hit me up. Let me know if there's anything you guys want to discuss. I figured it'll be just a vent session. We can look up random cases. We can talk about anything. We can talk about Delphi. And I'm sure I'll have something that I want to lay out for you, and we'll talk about that as well. You too, Farmer. Take care and be safe out on those streets. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks again. Peace.